This video series covers a trip by caravan that started in Brisbane and went via Rockhampton to Birdsville, the Red Centre, Gawler Ranges and Flinders Ranges and back to our home in Brisbane. I started to make these videos to record the journey soon after the trip, but for some reason didn't finish the task. I have now done so. 17 short videos comprise the set. The series is titled West, Centre and Flinders. Here is the next part. Our objective for our first day out of Yulara was to return to Eldunda on the Stuart Highway. We had given ourselves a light day, with time to look at things that we had driven by on the way in. We were now back on the Stuart Highway, with the high point on this highway near Alice Springs. Despite the undulating countryside, we were losing altitude as we journeyed south. The wildflower show continued, against a background of green foliage and red earth. Coober is the last town prior to leaving Northern Territory. It is a roadhouse with a scattering of houses. At the border, we took a break to read the extensive signage provided by the adjoining states. We made it a lunch break as well. Then we were back on our drive through Nature's Garden to Marla for our overnight stop in the caravan park at the Roadhouse. Touring through remote Australia seems to be punctuated with stops at roadhouses. Our coffee break next morning was made at Cadney Park Roadhouse, yet another such facility provided by the host cattle station. You know that you have reached Coober Pedy by the mullock heaps from opal mines. On arrival in town, we set up the van in the caravan park, then went for a drive around the town. Next morning we found an elevated vantage point that gave us a view over the town, to help get our bearings. Coober Pedy has slightly less than 2,000 permanent residents. Businesses and houses are built above and below ground level. Tunneling into a hill is a common way of achieving an underground home. With a guide, we toured the underground Anglican church. The unusual photo was taken from below via a ventilation shaft. Near the church was an underground motel. A visit to the breakaways is always on a Coober Pedy itinerary. The road out is lined with opal workings, new and old. The breakaways are a series of weathered and coloured hills north of Coober Pedy. They are similar to the Painted Hills and Painted Desert, in the same general area. We started at the lookout and then drove the roads to the extent that road closures from rain would allow. Not far from town is a memorial to the discovery of opals that started the mining boom. It is just south of town. Remember Will Hutchison, who drowned in Air Creek near Birdsville in a previous part of this story? The very same Will Hutchinson. We don't know who Dane was, but someone close to him wanted him remembered. R.I.P. Dane. About 200 kilometers south of Coober Pedy, we turned to the right into the road to Kingoonya. We were off the sealed road onto a well-graded sand road. Kingoonya is on the Transcontinental Railway line. The town was once important to railway operations. The small camping park is an easy walk to the pub, to which we took ourselves for dinner, with newly acquired camp park friends, as you do in remote places. Our plan was to continue south to the Gawler Ranges and Mount Ive station, but the weather forecast suggested too much rain for that to be a good idea. We decided instead to return to the Stuart Highway at Glendambo and make for Port Augusta. The road out to Glendambo was in quite good condition and lined in places by great displays of Sturt's desert pea. Lake Hart and Island Lagoon are near to each other, both with rest areas that make them a good places to take a break, or an overnight stop. Dark grey clouds were building to the southwest. The first spots of rain fell as we finished setting up the van at Port Augusta.